So if you don't know, the news is the deal for Guillermo Rigondeaux to sign with Al Haymon has fell apart. So we don't know where Guillermo Rigondeaux's career is going to go from here, because it's like, I don't think that Al Haymon is the type of guy that's going to go calling you up twice or trying to sign you twice. So it's a shame, because we really don't know what's out there for the career of Guillermo Rigondeaux. And to make matters worse, he is being stripped of the WBO title at 122 pounds because the WBO is saying that he hasn't fought one of his mandatories in 30 months. Now, the WBO, they're the type to strip you if you don't fight within a year, like they did with Demetrius Andrade, or defend your title within a year. But he's been fighting, he's been active fighting 2 times a year, meaning Guillermo Rigondeaux. But the thing is, he hasn't been fighting any of his WBO mandatories or fighting anyone in the that's ranked within the WBO. So it's just crazy to see that he's going to get his title taken away from him. And he is the best 122 pounder in the world. And with the promotional issues that he has fighting on 9 televised fights, it's like, where does he go from here? Al Haymon would have been the perfect match for him. We would have got, you know, to see him on national television. We would have likely probably got to see him maybe versus a Carl Frampton later on in the future. But now Rigondeaux is becoming like the legend of Guillermo Rigondeaux, because he's not doing, like, he's not fighting fighters of notoriety. Don't get me wrong, he's fighting good level fighters, but he's not fighting fighters of notoriety, and he's not fighting on like televised fights. You know, his last fight was in Japan, and then before that against what is it, Saad Luknyong Yang Toy of the Koki Gym or something like that, I believe his name was. You know, there's too many big fights for the, what, I believe he's 34 years old now, for the 34-year-old Rigondeaux to just be fighting fighters, you know, with no names basically, and nobody knows who he may fight next. Now, he's still a WBA Super World Champion at 122 pounds. Scott Quigg is the WBA World Champion. And it's like, where does he really go from here? And now that the WBO championship has been taken from him, Nonito Donaires' next fight will likely be for that WBO championship at 122 pounds. And Nonito Donaires was in negotiations to fight Scott Quigg. That fell apart. Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton are now close to fighting. And when you hear of these big fights that were in negotiations to be made, or negotiations to, or in talks to possibly happen in the future, it's just like, where does Rigondeaux go from here? I mean, really, where does he go from here? It's a shame. It's really a shame that a fighter that's this good, one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, highly skilled, can't get a fight, and now he's being stripped of a title even though he is fighting. It's tough, you know, as news develops, we will see where it goes from here. But the biggest hurt for me is, even though a lot of people don't agree with Al Haymon and his matchmaking, the biggest hurt, the most hurtful thing about this is that he's not going to be signing with Al Haymon in the future. Therefore, it puts a big ass question mark around his career. T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.